everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how we can create a foiled background using any stamps that you've got in your stash using Fab Foils and bonding powder. This is a great hack if you don't have a foiling machine and don't want to invest in one, but you want a foiled look. So I'm going to be using the Gina K Designs Blossoms in Bloom background stamp. I've got some Fab Foils to show you. I've got some pink, blush and purple. I'm going to be using the pink today, and this is the bonding powder. If you've not seen it before, it's like a clear embossing powder, but when it's heat set it stays sticky so you can adhere the foil to it. I've got my embossing ink pad, and then I've got my stamping platform because I really don't want to have to do this more than once. So I'm going to use my stamping platform to ensure that I get a crisp image first time. I've got a Sizzix Sticky Grid in my stamping platform, so that's just going to hold the cardstock in place so that the magnets don't get in the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my background stamp over my cardstock and then allow the lid of my stamping platform to cling to the stamp, and then I'll know that it's perfectly positioned over the cardstock. So once that's in place, I am going to use my anti-static powder bag on the cardstock. That will just remove any residue from the stamp and any residue from my fingers where I've touched the cardstock, because I really don't want the bonding powder to stick into any other areas other than where we've stamped the image. So I've inked up this stamp with my Embossing Ink Pad, and I'm going to repeat that a couple of times just so that I make sure I've not missed any areas. If you hold your stamping platform up to the light, you can see where the stamped image is very faintly. You can also see some of the black ink that's transferred from the stamp as well. But in real life, it is easy to see whether you've missed anywhere or not. So once that's all nice and stamped, I'm going to go ahead and add the bonding powder. So this is the Wow bonding powder. As you can see, it's like a very fine clear embossing powder, but the difference is that when it's heat set it stays sticky, and it's that stickiness that then allows the foil to grab to the card, and then you get that foil transfer over to your cardstock. So this is a different process to hot foil. We're not using hot foil here. We are using toner reactive foil, so it is a different foil type. There's a few different brands on the market, but I really love the Fab Foils. I love the fact that there's such a good variety of colours, and I love the fact that they're just so easy to use. So I'll leave all the products that I've used in the description box below. So once you've added your powder, just pop it to one side before you heat it up and just cut your foil to size. You could have done this before you stamped your image if you knew what size card you were going to be creating. I'm just going to quickly trim it now. And you just want to make sure that you trim off enough to cover your card panel. So next, you want to make sure that your heat tool is nice and hot, and then you want to melt the powder. I'm doing it from underneath just so that I don't blow any of the powder off, because I have popped it to one side for a minute. You could heat set it from the top, but obviously you do risk blowing the powder around, and then you'd end up transferring foil where you don't want it. So I make sure that I've heat set it from underneath, and then I just finish it off on the top, and then you want to stick your foil on it while it's still warm. I'm going to trim off the excess, and then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine just between the sandwich plates, as if you're running a die through, but obviously without any dies. And that just gives you the pressure that you need to transfer the foil to where that powder has melted. If you think your machine doesn't have quite enough pressure, then you can add a shim. So I'm just going to run it through again using a piece of cardboard. It's just a bit of a cereal box, and that just gives a little bit of extra pressure through the machine, and that way you can make sure that the foil transfers really well to where that powder has melted. And then you get to the fun part of peeling the foil off the panel and seeing what results you've got. And you can see there that has transferred really well. It looks really pretty. I have missed a small bit in the top of the corner, but we're going to be trimming this panel down, so I'm not worried about that. But it just gives you that gorgeous shine. So let's go ahead and turn it into a card. So I'm going to trim it down. I'm just using my Tim Holtz trimmer here, and I'm going to trim it down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches because we're going to be making a A2 card today. And then I'm just going to create a black matte layer as well, just so that there's a thin black border around that panel. Now, to finish off the card, I've cut a strip of vellum to 1 1/4 inches wide, and I've got this bird that's already stamped out in my stash. This is from the Ornate bird stamp set from Gina K Designs, and I'm going to use a circle, which is a leftover from the circle windows die, and that creates a lovely background piece. But we're just going to use the leftovers here today, and I'm going to be using the Kindness Silhouette stamp set because I really want that sentiment that says I've been thinking about you. And I'm going to heat emboss it in white on this circle. So I'm just using my anti-static powder bag again, because it can be sometimes a bit tricky to heat emboss white on black cardstock, because obviously any specks of stray embossing powder are going to be really visible. So I think that's where an anti-static powder bag is really, really helpful. I have got a whole tutorial where I show you some tips and tricks for getting the best heat emboss on black card, so I'll leave a link to that below as well. But I'm just going to heat set this again from underneath. Heat setting from underneath, make sure the powder doesn't blow around. And then once that's heat set, I'll just let it cool down while we go ahead and stick all our mats and layers together. So I'm going to wrap that strip of vellum down around the bottom portion of the card panel, and I'm just going to use some double-sided adhesive tape just to hold it in place, and then we can go ahead and add some liquid glue to the back of that and glue it down to our black matte layer that we've created. So I'm just using some liquid glue for this. This is the Barely Arts glue. I'm really enjoying using this glue, so if any of you were wondering how I was getting on with it, I'm definitely enjoying using it. I love the fact that it doesn't clog. I love the fine tip, and it seems to be lasting ages. I looked at it the other day through the light, and you could just see that I've barely used an inch of the glue, and I've been using it constantly. So yeah, it's going to last a while. So I'm just going to add my magnets to this just to hold it in place while it dries. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of that circle for the sentiment, just to pop that up on the vellum and give it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the bird as well. But because we've already got some foam tape on this sentiment, I am going to double up the foam tape on the back of the bird. So again, I'm just going to cut a couple of strips and then remove the backing tape from the first layer and add another strip to the back. So that's a great way of getting more from your foam tape as well. It just adds a little bit of extra dimension, especially when you've got foam tape already there. And then that is the finished card for today. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that this has given you some inspiration of how to get the foiled look without investing in a foiling machine. All the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. And please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this video. And don't forget to leave me a comment as well. I do read and respond to all of them as best I can. If you've enjoyed this video from me and you're not subscribed to my channel already, then I'd really appreciate you considering subscribing and hitting that bell notification so that you don't miss any videos that I upload. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.